Earlier this year, Topps distributed the first ever ultra premium cricket card release. And just wanted to give a quick review here and share a bit about the cards, what they look like, some things I really like about the product, and then some things that I'm hoping get even better in the future as Topps and apparently other companies are looking to capitalize on some of the growth and momentum and excitement of cricket. To start with, this premium product only contains 4 cards, so you can see it's quite a big box actually, especially for only 4 cards. They made the box very long, which kind of gives it a premium feel of, hey, you're really going to get something special here. Every card in the box is numbered. So the biggest number you'll find is an out of 49, but there's also out of 25, out of 10, out of 5, and out of 1. So there's one of ones in here. 14 different players, and each player has each of those versions I just mentioned. They have a 1 of 1, they've got an out of 5, they've got an out of 10, out of 25, and out of 49, and they have a base version, which is the unsigned version, and then they have a signed version. So in total, you do the math, each player has 100 total unsigned and 100 total signed cards, and these are sticker autos for each player. So each player has 100 signed, 100 unsigned, so that's 200 total cards, 14 players. So you can kind of back into the math. There's 2,800 total cards produced here at 4 cards per box, so that's 700 boxes distributed. These were distributed through Topps UK and also Topps India. So I've heard at least a rumor that like 550 boxes were produced. I'm guessing that's just for Topps UK, which would have meant that another 150 boxes went to India. So, first of all, what do I like about this? It's really cool to see Topps stepping into the cricket card game, for them to produce some really good looking cards, right? These are some of the best looking cricket cards ever produced. I think they did a nice job on the colors and on the finish, on the packaging, and they picked a pretty good checklist, right? I would say pretty good, definitely not great, right? So we're talking about the legends of the game. Everybody's going to see Sachin Tendulkar in the box. He's not in here, right? So that's a huge loss. There's other legends, right? Like Gary Sobers is still alive. There's some really, really amazing cricketers that are not in here. Also, there's no modern players, right? So this really is a purely nostalgia set with no modern players in it, just the 14 retired players who really, are between very, very good players, right? Like some of the England players that they inserted aren't necessarily Hall of Fame caliber players, but they were really, really great players for England at the time. And then you have like truly, some of the best ever, like these 3 guys, all 3 of them. Dale Steyn is arguably, if you look at the stats, maybe the best bowler, or one of at least the top 5 of the last 100 years. Ian Botham, one of the top 5 all-rounders of all time. Sangakkara, one of the top, batsmen of the last 40, 50 years. So you do have these great players in there, but not that kind of ultra superstar quality players that would have really made people jump. So in the future, like Topps, or I've even heard that Upper Deck and Futera UK are creating cricket card sets. Like, I would love to see a more comprehensive checklist. I would love to see a base set, right? Where like, imagine if this was more like 10 packs where you could actually build a base set, or actually build, and maybe the base set could have even been numbered out of 100 or 200, right? But you could actually go out and try to complete a base set, more players, right? So again, like there's things that I really hope improve, but I think the fact that this release sold out in a day, or I think the UK version, the UK website probably sold out in a few hours. That's a really good sign. I think that hopefully that sends a message to Topps that, hey, like these sold out quickly. The secondary market was strong, with boxes retailing for about £100, but quickly selling on eBay for 2 or 3 times that much. So anyway, a lot to like here. I'm done kind of talking about the things that aren't my favorite. Let's get into the cards. So I really went after a handful of the players. Like I mentioned, there's 14 total players, but I wasn't really going to chase after like Alistair Cook, Darren Go, and guys like that, who were probably heroes to a lot of UK kids. But I'm really looking for the greatest players of all time. So from a base card perspective, I tracked down Dale Stein. This is my only Stein I got, but this is also my only purple. So I wanted to see what the purples look like. It is a very nice finish there. I also got the Ian Botham. The reason I tracked this one down was it was the serial numbered 1 out of 49, which I thought was kind of cool, and got those both for reasonable prices. And then Glenn McGraw, same thing. I got this one because it was serial numbered 11, which is his jersey number. So got a jersey numbered McGraw here. And I really like the green for the Aussies too. Like that's a really nice little kind of color match there, which I just think looks great. So sticking to the greens, here's my autographed version of the Botham. So again, if you're trying to see the differences, the card design itself is very, very similar. The autographed one says certified autograph issue here. It has the sticker here as well. And I think that they like kind of blur or kind of dull out the color underneath the autograph just to make it pop more, but that might actually just be the way that the sticker looks. But yeah, so like that's the difference between the autographed version and the regular version. In the backs, at least at first glance, there might be some small difference, but I think that the backs are the same as well. Moving on, still on the out of 49s, I got a Sangakkara, and this one, I bought first before I tracked down the ones you'll see in a moment, which are the much rarer out of 5. But he's one of my favorites. I collect his stuff. I collect a bunch of in-person signatures of him as well. And his in-person signatures, this is an interesting trade-off, right? Here you get a formal signature. He obviously spent a lot of time on it, but it's very small because it has to fit on a sticker. A lot of his in-person signed cards might not be as detailed, but you get a huge signature covering a lot of the card, which I really like. So they have pros and cons of both. Callis, one of the greatest ever. He's the second greatest all-rounder of all time. I think it's pretty safe to say. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention this. I've gotten ridiculed on my videos. That's probably too strong a word, but I've gotten suggested in a very respectful way to not use the word batter in cricket. It should be batsman. I think it's a little bit interesting that these cards say batter. I'm not sure if that's completely like a no-no, or if maybe it's okay in some situations to say batter, or if they had maybe some American tops designers, creating the wording on these. But yeah, surprised it doesn't say batsman on those. And then, statistically greatest wicket taker of all time and one of the most dominant bowlers, wanted to pick up his autograph. And again, I picked this up early on. So let's get to the really good stuff. This is definitely my favorite design, the rainbow designs. And I'm not just saying that because I'm jealous that I don't have any one-of-ones. I really have heard from a lot of people that they think that the out of 5s were the most striking. The one-of-ones are more similar to the other card designs, except they're gold. So instead of 4 green corners, you get 4 gold quarters. But man, you gotta love that rainbow design on the out of 5s. So even the backs, they did a really nice job. So they're very striking. And when I saw those, I wanted to pick it up. And I got the opportunity to actually get the same serial number, 4 out of 5, for both the base and the autograph version of the Sangakkara. So that's really exciting. I'm really happy to have that in my collection, and those will be staying in my collection long term. Just really cool. And then the other out of 5 I got, which I also felt very lucky to pick up, Muralitharan. So again, one of my favorite bowlers, one of my favorite batsmen, neither of whom have a ton of cards issued in different releases. just because of the countries that they played for. But yeah, so that's my take on the Sri Lankan players and the card set in general. But what do you think? I think by this point, a lot of people have had the chance to buy these, or at least think about buying these. I have a friend who's gone after, all base cards. I've got some contacts who have built entire rainbows of players, right, from the 1 of 1 to the out of 5, all the way up to the 49s. So there's a lot of different ways to collect these. It is very hard to build a set, quote unquote, just because of the cost and the rarity. But what do you think? You like this product? Would you buy it?